Hey, good afternoon again, folks. Thank you for being here. It's going to be a treat, I assure you. Sharo and I have become friends, and we had an interview very recently, and it was quite eye-opening, to say the least. So it is my honor to introduce a visionary researcher, author, and speaker whose work bridges ancient civilizations and modern science through the power of geomathematical analysis. Sha'Z holds a bachelor's in physics and a master's in management information systems from UNLV. His groundbreaking works, Sha'Z Square and Sha'Z Mystic Lines and Areas, reveal hidden mathematical connections in ancient sites and mysterious locations across the globe, and mainly in America. From today's presentation, you will uncover how ancient engineering and geomathematics unlock untold mysteries of both our past and the unknown. Please join me in welcoming the magnificent, the wonderful, the brilliant Sha'Z.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Great job. Come on. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming in. All right, this is my brand, Ancient Mysteries Decoded. For those who don't know me, my name is Sha'Z, and I found a lot of friends here that they motivated me to move forward positively. So I wanted to bring this up, that without positive energy, we cannot move forward. So I don't want to talk a lot about myself. Most of you know me, but I want to tell a little bit about me. Yes, I studied physics, solid state physics, and I took some courses about nuclear. But let's go a little bit backwards. When I was a kid, I was born in a family. My father was a diplomat in the embassy of the previous regime, not this Islamic regime, and he used to take me around to different places. And when I was there, first of all, I was so happy that I'm with my dad, years old. And to let you know, for those who don't know my father, this is my father, Alexis. He looks like me, right? Yes, he took me around, and he found that I'm a little bit curious about different things. And so he gave me the opportunity to deal with different things that are around, specifically mechanical things like watches. I remember when I was a kid with my sister, somebody gave me a watch. I'm like 6, 7 years old. And me and my sister went to the room while the guest was still in the other room. And this is a very expensive watch. And me and my sister tore it apart to see how it works. And ladies and gentlemen, my sister Leila Zadeh, can you? So like that. So as you can see, I was growing in a specific family, and that places that I've been, okay, I've been in Hong Kong, I've been in Indonesia, Malaysia, different places. And because my father was a diplomat, the people that he was surrounded by, they were all diplomats also. And they have kids that they go around as well. And when we sit down together, those kids told me stories that it was fascinating for me as a young boy, curious young boy. So I was always fascinating, but the stories that they're talking about and surprising me. And I had stories to tell them, they had stories to tell me. And so from childhood, as much as I remember, I was always looking for these kind of stories. Let me give you some of the topics that are very, very intriguing to me. Dinosaurs, aliens, UFOs, and they're talking about space and moon and planets. And they're talking about, what's it called? Transformers, the movie, the cartoon. They're talking about other things. And I'm confronting with all these things, right? And just to let you know, Hong Kong is the center of the toys in the world. That's one of the things. So my father bought all the toys for me. It took me every other weekend, me and my sister. He said, okay, you're on your own. So we go around jumping up and down in Hong Kong and try to find specific toys that amuses us, right? So my room and her room was packed. At one point, I could not just easily walk the room because of all kind of toys, right? So that's how I started becoming actually interested about specific things that is like a mystery. It looks like something that is a puzzle, try to solve. So from then when I grew up, I went to Iran, and over there we were in war, and I saw that how bad the war is. I don't encourage anybody to even get close to that word, even the word. And eventually, I was lucky to join this school for computer. But the professor came to me and said, hey, your grades are very good in physics. I recommend you to go to physics. And I said, physics is boring. He said, no, what is not boring? I said, dinosaurs, UFOs, ghosts, spirits. I said, you need to go to physics. Just write it down. So I said, okay. So I went to physics. 4 years later, I was graduated, but still curious, right? One thing, we all are human, and sometimes something happens and makes us to think about things. What's going on? What's happening? One of the things that happened to me was an earthquake happened in Iran, in that area, and unfortunately, in 10 minutes, a lot of people died. So all my friends tried to help, right? You're a human. You try to understand them, and you somehow relate yourself with those situations. So I tried to help them, but I didn't have enough money. So another friend of mine said, hey, you need to think what happens so you can prevent. I just said, that's a good idea. Let me sit down and find a method to prevent earthquakes, or tell them, hey, tomorrow earthquake's coming. I was so amateur that I thought earthquakes only happen under the cities. And that's why a lot of people die. So I thought that if I move the people to another location, the earthquake will also move. And I said, okay, what is the connection between human and earthquakes? So I don't know. I'm like 18, 19 years old boy, going to college, coming home, and we only have one day off, and that's Fridays. So there's only one library. So it was in Hossein Yershah, for those who know. So I go over there, it's like 25 minutes walking, and I go there and sit down. I'm the first person goes in. I get the big table, and I start for 1 hour walking around, picking all the books about earthquakes and putting on the table. And the next thing I know is 5 p.m., and they are kicking me out. So I have notes written, and I don't know what to do with them. I'm looking for earthquakes, but I confront with Bermuda Triangle. I confront with other mysteries around that is also easy. Then I start writing notes. And luckily, we didn't have that much distraction that we have today. So nobody called me, nobody called me, things like that. So I was cool. And then, but the thing is that we are human. We relate to each other. It's very important for our neighbors, for our friends, and for other people, what they are doing. And it's important for them to see what we are doing. So we communicate. But I don't find anybody to be interested in these kind of topics. So it's hard to find same-minded people, right? So I keep on moving, try to fit, and then somebody told me, hey, if you go to the college, you have professors over there, they're same-minded. So here I am in the college studying physics, right? What do you think I was thinking of? Not physics. I hated algebra. I was trying to run away from it. I hated math. I hated all the things like that. But what I was looking for was dinosaurs. So I go sit in the classroom. Are you going to talk about dinosaurs? Are you going to talk about UFOs? Are you going to talk about ghosts? Are they exist? Are they real? Why we don't see spirits? What is spirit? What is telepathy? And they all look like me that, hey, you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong room. So eventually, then I started finding some things. Because of the study that I did on the books, I found some things. So I talked to my professor, hey, did you notice this? And they come to me and say, how you found these things? I'm going to give you one example. So I took a course called astronomy. Amazing, right? I sit over there, then I see the planets, their distances. This is true story. So then I go home, I started playing with the numbers. And I found a formula that when I put number 1 in it, it gives me the distance of the first planet to sun. Okay, then I put number 2, it gives me the distance of the second planet to sun. 3, it gives me the Earth. So I found a pattern. So what happens when I put the last number? It gives me another distance, right? But there was no actual planet there. After Pluto, we don't have any other planets. So I went to my professor. He was working with NASA. So I gave him. He was so excited about this. He said, give me the documents. I'm going to read it in the airplane, and I come and talk to you when I come back next semester. Really? There's no email, there's no text, nothing. So the whole semester I was biting my tongue, waiting, holding my breath until he comes. When he comes, he threw the paper in front of me, and he says, "You are a cheater." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, you copied this from Science magazine in 19-something, almost the same formula. Somebody else came with that formula, and you copied it from there, but a little bit different." And I was looking at him and said, "What are you talking about?" "No, I did it by myself. I was at home. My dad was reading a newspaper. I was in the other room just..." And so I got so mad, not just at him, as myself. Why did I give him these documents? So I gave it to another professor, and he read it. He came to me. He says, "I'm going to tell you two things. I'm going to ask you one question. You have two answers. But be honest. Don't give me the answers. Did you write it yourself? Did you come up with the idea yourself?" And I said, "Well, I wanted to say something." "Don't say anything. Just keep it to yourself. If you did not write it, you should be ashamed of yourself, what you did. But if you did it, you should be proud of you. You have something that others don't have." I said, "What are you talking about? I did it by myself." So I came home. I said, "You know what? I shouldn't have given this information to him. This is Iran. Everybody, there's no right there, this and like that." So it changed my life a little bit. Okay? I said, okay, it looks like I am looking at things that nobody else is looking. So I started from there eventually. I found a topic. So it ended me up to one of my friends. Then the next thing I know is my friend, the other professor, came to me and said, "Hey, is that true?" I said, "Yeah." Ended me in front of the president of Iran, the former president of Iran. So I'm standing in front of him. He gave me 15 minutes to talk about, and I'm there. We have pictures, and he gave me his book. He signed it, gave it to me, and I'm there with one of the sons of one of the ministers, the Minister of Foreign over there, me and him, and here's the president. So I talked to him, and he was so fascinated about my research about Mecca that he sat down for about an hour and 15 minutes. All his other guests were in the other room, and he said, "I want to introduce you to #1 physicist in Iran. Go and talk to him. I want to write a letter. Immediately, he's going to see you." So, okay. I pick everything up, shake hands, take pictures, everything. I come home, so excited. The person came back. This is #1 physicist in Iran. I'm not going to give him, announce his name. So I go to his office, and I give him some documents. He puts the documents like this, puts his hand on it. He said, "What's going on?" The first thing I said, "Hey, did you know that?" He said, "Slow down. I don't want to know anything. What brought you to this? How come you are so passionate about this information?" I said, "Well, it goes back in time, even before I was born." And they said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I knew something is happening to me, and it happens to other people, not just me, but I found myself that way." So this is the story. My father and my mom, they married, but they couldn't have a child. They couldn't have a baby. So they go to doctors left and right. There's no kids over there, no sign of anything. Then one night, this gentleman here, my father, wakes up while my mom was talking. And he thought that my mom was talking to him about driving, about a boy, something. He listens, and he hears that my mom is saying, "Be careful about this boy, Shahrukh, and you know how hard the God gave it to me? And be careful when you're driving, don't hit the car to this boy." Something like that. He doesn't know how to drive. He hasn't even had that in his mind, that he's going to one day drive. So he wakes her up and finds out that she is dream talking, something like that. Okay, what happens the next morning? Immediately, they're in the doctor's office. No sign. Next week, no sign. Weeks after that, no. Everybody knew that Shahrukh is coming, but nobody knew when, and the doctors didn't have any evidence. So one question is this: how can you prove something like this to somebody else? That you have a feeling that nobody understands you, nobody believes in you. You don't have any evidence. Very, very interesting, right? So then, few months later, the doctor says there's a sign. And months pass, They don't have sonography in that time. And my parents always talk to me and they say, oh, we wish we had a sonography. Look at the connection. Now I'm teaching to students that they are sonography students. You see the relationship? How does these things connect? And I'm in a college that I have that much honor that the directors of this college, Las Vegas College, are also here. May I introduce to you Taisha and Lori? They came all the way, and their beautiful husbands, okay? Thank you for coming in. Like that. So the story goes on, and I'm thinking about these connections, right? So the time comes in, 9 a.m., and I was born, right? Later on, I found out that there are two other incidents happening that day. First, the Apollo 11 launched to moon. I was born on that day, July 16, 1969. How fascinating is it? I was born the same day that day was. So my nickname was Neil Armstrong. If you forgot my name, ask the nurses, and that's the nickname they gave to me. The second thing is that after a while, I found out that we have something called calendar. And I'm in Iran, and it's an Islamic calendar, right? The calendar in Iran is based on lunar and activity and things like that. Anyways, the first day that they started the calendar, the lunar calendar or some calendar in Islamic one, is on July 16th. And that's also the same. So I was thinking of, hey, wait a minute. How come I was born on the same day that this guy goes to moon? And how come the same day the calendar is on? Is that why I'm special? I found the answer later, but that was not why I'm special. So then, but it keeps on going. So these are the questions in my mind always when people talk to me, and like that. So there's a metaphysics story that I have, there are physical stories that I have, the experiences that I've did, and things like that, right? So long story short, I don't want to tell you the other stories that I was in Hong Kong and the typhoon came in. Okay, the water actually washed the whole city, and I saw people crying, dying, people actually damaging their cars or trucks and boats smashing to each other. So I'm fascinated about these kind of phenomena. Now this added to the mysteries that I'm looking for. So eventually I come up and come up and come up, and I found friends that they started telling me specific things and stories and helping me in different ways. Some of them financial, some of them information, some of them connect me to another person. So this is how my life started coming up, and like that. So I just told a little bit about my life, right? I'm 55 years old. You don't want me to talk 55 years for you. All right, so this is my logo, and I'm going to talk about it. That's the name. One of my friends gave me the name. He's an AI genius, and he found out that, hey, this is a perfect name. So, okay. Because people might forget my name, but they don't forget the meanings of this. Ancient mysteries decoded. And we're going to talk about this in a second. This is the first question. I want you to just think about it. Have you ever had an incident where no one believed you because you didn't have any scientific evidence? I think the answer is easy. It's yes for almost everybody. Right? Just think about the moment that you had that and you could not explain. Or if you explained it, they ridiculed you. Let me give you a couple questions. What would you do if you had a family member on a plane when it disappeared? Never happened? Oh, yes, it did. Malaysia Airline, 2014, flight MH370. I think we all know that, right? It's recent. But that's far away, right? It's never going to happen to us in the United States. That's what everyone thinks. But guess what? We have an incident in the United States, but not recent, long time ago. 1950, this flight vanished without any trace. And this is in the United States. We have the highest technology. Satellite, all the radars, everything else. What happened to the plane? Until today, they haven't found anything. They found some stuff, but no sign. Why nobody's talking about it? Okay, another question. If a strange craft hovers above your big city, what would you do? Never happened? Really? How about this one? The Battle of Los Angeles. After World War II, this craft slowly comes from the Pacific Ocean. Radar shows it. Military people see it. Naval people see it. It comes towards the city and stops above Los Angeles. First of all, why Los Angeles? Why not San Diego? Second of all, why stop? Why it didn't continue? And then it goes backwards to the ocean. Nobody knew about it? Oh, they knew. The military knew and started shooting to this. In the picture you can see in the top, above that shape, there's some dots. Those are the shootings that happened from. Okay, so it happened. Is that the only one? No. We have in Washington, D.C., UFOs, not one time, multiple times fly. Not only people saw it, not only the military and police officers saw it, but also they engaged. A pilot goes up with a jet, tries to shoot them down. Interesting, right? Another one, Phoenix. Okay, this craft, Phoenix Lights, it started from here, from Henderson. So an hour before this craft goes above Phoenix, it was moving in the southern part of Henderson. So many people reported, they called, they reported it. And an hour later, this craft stops above the city of Phoenix. And it's not very long ago, it's just 1997, okay, 30 years ago, about. So what happened? Why Phoenix? And these are questions, right? And just regular people saw it? No. Military people saw it, the mayor saw it, and also actors saw it. Google it online, you will see. So it's very well documented. Another one is one of my favorites. The Tehran UFO incident. It happened in Iran. Okay? Not because I'm from Iran, but this is one of the scenarios that happen outside of the United States. You know, we think only UFOs happen in elsewhere as well, a lot more than United States, but they don't document it, they don't care about it. This one goes exactly above the city in the midnight. People calling the airport, what is this craft glowing so high, like a second moon, and it's just hovering above this northern part of Tehran, which is called Shemiranat. It's over there. And then the airport over there transfers the communications to another city, which is Hamadan, and a jet comes up, goes towards this airplane, and this is what happened. He sees the UFOs. He also sees some creatures inside that UFO, and he reports it, right? This pilot's name is Mr. Jafari, and he's still alive. He gives talks and things. And at one point, they tell him to engage and shoot. Probably it's from Russia. So there's a handle. He lifts up the handle, the cap, and there's a red button. As soon as he touches the button, the whole electricity of the plane shuts down. And he gets surprised. So he doesn't know what to do, but there's a mechanical form also over there. He turns the plane, comes away. When he comes around, everything comes back to normal. The second time he goes around, they tell him engage. Is everything good? They say good. Okay, go ahead, green light. He flips up. For the second time, he pushes the button. Again, this thing happens. Are you kidding me? Blackout. And then at that time, something from below that craft, I like to call it UFO. They call it different names. I don't know. Just call it UFO because it's been years that I'm calling it that name. And this is an object. It's not a phenomenon. It releases something, and that shoots to him. The object comes faster than a missile to him. He doesn't know what to do. He turns around and tries to escape, right? That object comes and goes around the plane. Hey, not an airplane. We are not a balloon. We are not a star. We are not helicopters. You better go back home, baby. So that's what's happening. So then they tell him that, hey, just keep your distance. Just push him away. So the object goes back, goes inside the craft. They shoot a beam of light to Tehran and then come and they start going. So this happened in Tehran, for those who didn't know. There's online, it's one of the top 10 actually UFO incidents in the world. Another one, Belgian UFO incidents. Not just one time, multiple times, In several months, this UFO comes, everybody looks at it, they don't know what's going on. At one time, they say, you know what, we have to shoot this now. So the same thing that the Americans did with the balloon that came in, right? They tried to shoot it down. They went up, they couldn't even catch it. This object was going zip-zap, up and down, left, right, and going, at one point goes back behind the aircraft. Quickly, they couldn't even turn his head. So these are the reports. The radar saw it. So what's going on in our country? What's going on in our world? We don't know. This is what we're trying to find out. Okay, but this is the question that I want you to think about. You won't worry, because these are all stories, right? Everybody else is talking. I don't worry. It's everybody else. It's not me, so why should I worry? But suddenly, you find yourself in one of these situations. This happened to others. It will happen to us again also. What would you do then? Do you have enough time to figure it out and escape? Think about it. So when would you learn how to escape? When will you learn not to go to that place? Not on that time? What would you do? So do you see and do you understand the value of searching in this field? Okay, I hope none of you have this kind of issue, but if you had this issue, please don't come to me because I'm trying to figure it out myself. Okay? But this is what I'm going to talk today. I want to tell you some clues that I found. Out of a lot of clues that I found, I'm going to just present a little bit of them, a few of them, and today, and you will see that how these things are working. I hope that helps you. So that's what we are going to talk about today. So because there's a lot of information, I know you have questions because you are people, you're curious people. You do not just leave your house to come to this presentation, which is about 6 hours, and just kidding. So you come here to listen to this guy. No, there's something in your head that you are looking for. There's some questions, if not one. That's what you are here for, okay? That's why I say, hey, I think there's something there. I want to go, and I want to figure it out. Maybe I can answer or a portion of the questions that I have, okay? So that's what we're going to talk to you, okay? What if I told you that the locations of many of these mysteries are related to each other? This is what we're going to talk about today. This is something new. All right? So, welcome to Ancient Mysteries Decoded. Okay? That is my logo. Okay? I spent not hours, not weeks, but months and years to come up with a logo that presents what I'm thinking, okay? If you notice, this is round, because circle is one of the favorite shapes of our universe, okay? And our universe has a language. We have a language, right? We invented English. We invented Farsi. We invented other languages, Chinese, right? We invented it. It's a second-hand invention. But what did the universe invent? It invented mathematics. And inside mathematics, we have numbers and we have shapes. And one of the simplest shapes are lines in one dimension, okay? Or I call it two dimension because sometimes lines are not straight, they bend. And it has a starting point, it has an end point, and it has a distance, right? And the next shape that is very simple is circle. It only has a center and a circumference. Then we have the object, the third one is triangles. It's only 3 dots with a center. Then we have squares, and it goes on and becomes complicated. So I picked circle, and I picked center, and I picked lines, and I put dots. Okay, and so that represents our world, our Earth. And those are the dots, the 3 main dots, and I'm going to talk about why 3. And everything is connected to everything. So all the dots in our life are connected. I'm going to talk about what I mean about the dots. So, and it goes inside. It's very deep, this connection. So there's a networking of dots in our world, all right? And some of them are on the surface. Some of them are inside. So, again, I'm a curious person like you. I'm nothing else. I'm just a boy. I'm not old, okay? I'm just a boy. I'm trying to satisfy my curiosity. And I believe that mathematics is one of the languages of our universe. and I believe everything is connected to everything. Each one of us are sitting here, we are connected. We are connected. We look like physically separated, but we are not. We are connected, and my belief. And I respect everybody else's belief. Okay, ready for this? This is our world, and I found out that, not I found out that, other people, but I put these three main things here: objects, time, and location. We don't have anything else except the energy that connects these things together. That's the energy. So if an airplane disappears somewhere, it connects to us from one side, but that it has a specific mass, that's a specific shape of that object, and it has a specific time and specific location. So you heard a lot of stories in Bermuda Triangle that this airplane disappeared, then the following airplane, nothing happens to it. Let me give an example. Flight 19, 5 Avengers of Navy, 1945. They go out. This is Flight 19, means 18 other, actually, practices will happen the same day. And this is just a 19 one. 5 Avengers. They go in the ocean to do the same practice that the other 18 did. And this is number 19. Number 20 is in the line, waiting for them to finish, and then they start. Number 21 is also done. And this 5 goes, and then suddenly they found out that they don't know where they are. And they think they're in another location. They're in the south of Miami. I want to talk about why they thought they're in the south of Miami, and somewhere like the Keys. And until today, they couldn't find it. With all the efforts, with all the ships that they went, all the helicopters, all the planes that they went, they couldn't find it. But let me give you something that a little bit spooky, okay? As soon as they found out these airplanes are disappearing and they're gone, they send another airplane, a rescuer. This plane does not sink in the water. About 27 crew over there, they go up. As soon as they go up, 5 minutes after, they disappeared as well. How cool is that? Why? Where? What happened? That's the area they call it the Bermuda Triangle. Okay? I have 3 chapters written only about this. It's not published yet, okay? Don't ask for it. So I did this kind of researches and things like that. I'm just giving you heads up. But what is the connection between one of these with another one of these? I want to tell you now, and then you understand what I'm talking about. It's the incident. It's the mystery. So each incident happens to a specific object, in a specific time, in a specific location, via specific energies. These energies, we only know 4 of them so far. We have nuclear energy, high power, low power. We have electromagnetic energy, and we have gravity, right? These are the only 4 we know. We didn't know many of them. Like many years ago, we didn't know anything about nuclear. So we thought it's only gravity. Newton found it. And then other people found electromagnetic things. Tesla worked huge. A lot of other scientists, right? So, but what is in common is that, in common between different incidents, are only in these 4 categories. That's why one incident, we have the same mass as another incident, but because the location is different, it's not repeating the same thing, okay? The result is not the same. Okay, I want to talk about this with examples shortly. So my concern now is not all of them. It's only the location mostly, and a little bit about the time. Okay, a little bit, not for another session, come on. I cannot bring all the 30, 40 years of research and information into 1 or 2 hours. So help me with this. I'm going to talk a little bit quick and give you these examples and the things that you are looking for. Okay, so I started trying to connect the dots, right? So what's the first thing that is important for me? Mysterious places. One of the toughest one that people are talking recently in the last 20 years is the Skinwalker Ranch. It existed before. The Navajos, all those people, Indians. I don't want to go through each one of these ones. I'm sure, 100% sure that you know a little bit information about each one of them, right? So these are some spots on our planet. Skinwalker Ranch, Machu Picchu, Sedona Vortex, crop circles, mostly in United Kingdom, right? We have crop circles in United States, but they don't talk about it much. I don't see it in the news. I just see some other programs that they bring this up. I'm going to give you a few examples today to bring that. Then we have areas. These are not just spots. These are more than spots, like Nazca lines, like suicide forests. Someone just asked me about that. Yes, we have forests that when you go there, you feel that you have that energy to just kill yourself. Didn't happen before? Oh, yes. Go to Japan. I was talking with a lady, Japanese lady, just 2 days ago here, and she was from Japan. She was from Tokyo, and she was very well familiar, and she said, we don't go there. The energy over there is somehow, in a way, not like Sedona, in a way that you want to kill yourself. And a lot of suicides are happening there. Nobody kills another person. People kill themselves. Do we have it in the United States? Anybody know? Yeah, we have. Above Boston. There's an area, is a forest also. Very spooky. And we have another forest, which is near Boston again, and that's in the Bridgewater Triangle. I'm going to show you that now. So anyways, we have disappearing areas that people go there. Many of them don't come back. Okay? Yes, we have those kind of areas. And you will be so surprised if I tell you where is the largest one. People go hiking, they feel the things, and they don't come back. Anyways, we have specific cities and animal habitats. So we are part of nature, right? Let me tell you this. There's a question, are we part of nature or not? If you are not a part of nature, that's a problem. Okay, so we are a different entity from another side, that's another topic. But if you are part of nature, we think and we behave, we do everything as the other natural entities, like animals. What is the difference between us and other animals? We have giraffe. The giraffes, their neck just grew, right? That's how they liked. That's their, actually, we have two systems. We have a defense system and we have an attack system. And each person, each animal, each city, each country has both of them at the same time. Even many of the games are like this. You have to attack while you defend, okay? Military, like that. So we have animals that they have a defense system. And for example, lions. Let me tell you this, what is the attack system of the lions? Size, paws, teeth, right? And a strategy. But what is the defense system? So this is very interesting. Lions like to attack and grab the throat of the animal, right? Just talking simple. And he goes under and he grabs the throat and he just pressures that until the animal just gives up, right? So what's the lion's defense system? Long around it, all the hair. So other animals, predators, cannot attack him, cannot do the same thing to him. Isn't that interesting? Things like that. And we have alligators, we have snakes and all the stuff. Recently they found a snake with 4 legs and hands running around. Interesting. Anyways, what is the human's strength? How we attack. We found out that, hey, the only organ that we need to improve to attack is our brain, is our IQ. We increase our IQ, we increase our brain, intelligence, right? That's how we attack while we defend. So that's why animals find a specific place that they like to live, and they feel that's good. Eventually, they colonize that area. They become socializing over there. They live over there. The generation after generation, it becomes their city. We are the same. We make our own cities. We are also a part of nature. And these cities are not just randomly in anywhere. These cities are specific locations that we found is good. Otherwise, we abandon that and we go to somewhere else, right? So why we pick that place is because we are part of nature, and the language of nature is mathematics. So these cities are connected through mathematics. But because we haven't found a relationship yet, doesn't mean they don't exist and there's no relationship. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more about this. I wanted to bring that up. So we have triangular places. We have circular also. Most of the cities are in a circle. But we have triangular places. We have Bermuda Triangle, Nevada Triangle, Lake Michigan Triangle, Alaska Triangle, Bridgewater Triangle, and another one which is outside of the United States, which is the Dragon's Triangle. That is my favorite one. But I'm not going to talk about that one here because I haven't published the book. I haven't documented yet, so I need to document that first. But I want to talk about the other ones, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the Bermuda Triangle, also things that you, it might fascinate you. So, okay, let me bring it up. Then we have some lands, some islands that they're interesting. We so far found few of them that they're mysterious and they're different than other places. The Easter Island, Hawaii Island, Bermuda Island, and Guam Island. Did you know that Guam is very special? We talk about this. I'm not going to talk about Guam also again, sorry. But it's very, very special. So those are some of the spots that they're mysterious, but we have some life form incidents. Now these incidents are happening in specific places. Cities is one of them. So the cities, as I said, they're not coming up. Then we have structures. Okay, we have Kaaba, we have Stonehenge, pyramids as examples. We have more, but these are some examples. If you have any questions about pyramids, okay, please go to ask my friend. Can you raise your hand? Yes, the genius. Okay, I want you to go to him. What was? I'm so sorry. What's your last name? I forgot your last. Differ, please. Okay, Stonehenge. We have other places like this, but why they built these things in that place, on that area, on that land? We're going to see some of these examples. We have, again, areas that there are people disappearance, animals also disappearance. The horse is there, the next thing you know, the horse is not there. And we have group suicides, themselves, also animals. We have dolphins and we have, what is it called, whales that they beach themselves. Why? Scared of something? Something happened in the ocean, they're running away? Or there's something attracting them? This is the question that you need to ask. Why I'm telling you this, because many cases they put the dolphin back to the ocean, he beaches himself again, the same place. So there's something repelling or attracting. So, and then we are walking around and suddenly a bunch of birds just fall down dead. It happened before, specific locations, happened multiple times. Why? Okay, anyways, we have haunted houses. I don't know if you have been in any haunted houses or not, but we also have haunted schools. We also have haunted universities, not the Las Vegas College University. But let me tell you one thing about the Las Vegas College University. When I went in, the first thing a lady told me is that, hey, there is an entity here going around, flips with papers and these things. Can you testify? Is that true? Yes? Yes. Don't go there. I'm just kidding. That's what I'm doing remotely. No, it's a wonderful place because there's too much positive energy over there. Too much positive energy that when I go there, when I come out, I'm totally hyper. I'm totally different. Okay? So, right? Okay. Then we have mutilations. We have a lot of cattle mutilations. But did you know that we also have horse mutilations? Did you know that we have human mutilations? So cows, you find cows that they are dead, right? You go over there and you see it's precisely cut, precisely, that we don't have that device now to cut it that way. But that's not, it's amazing. What is amazing is that there's no blood inside the body or outside. It happened to